Okay, hello boys and girls, moms and dads. Welcome to HeroesMart Homeschool Academy. This is 5th grade English, week number 8 and day number 1. Alright, so today is going to be about the reading and comprehension section of the curriculum. We get a chance to read through a passage, and we are going to try to understand what we've read through the passage. So this is what we're going to do. So please go ahead and get your workbook and turn to page number 51. And if you do not have your workbook downloaded just yet, there is going to be a copy of that on the screen in front of you if you are watching this video real time with us. So you're welcome to follow along just like that as well. So right after that reading, we're going to come back and answer a few questions to measure our understanding of what we've just read. So let's go ahead and read about tips for self-control.
A group of children loved to play and have fun together. But they often got carried away with their excitement and ended up causing trouble. One day, a wise woman in the village noticed the children's behavior and decided to teach them about self-control. She gathered the children together and told them a story about a man named Samson in the Bible. Samson was a strong and powerful man, but he had a weakness for temptation. One day, he was captured by his enemies and his hair, the source of his strength, was cut off. Samson realized too late that his lack of self-control had led to his downfall. The wise woman explained to the children that just like Samson, they could also face consequences if they didn't learn to control themselves. She taught them techniques for self-control, like praying to God, taking deep breaths, and counting to 10 before reacting to a situation. The children were skeptical at first, but they decided to give it a try. They practiced self-control every day, and over time, they began to see a change in their behavior. They stopped fighting and causing trouble, and instead, they started working together and having more fun than ever before. The children realized that having self-control wasn't about taking away their freedom to play and have fun. It was about making the right choices and using their strength for good instead of causing harm. In the end, the children learned an important lesson about the power of self-control. They realized that they could control their actions and make choices that would benefit themselves and those around them. They continued to practice self-control and became a shining example of love and kindness in their village. The story of the children who learned self-control teaches us that we too can learn to control our actions and make choices that will benefit ourselves and others. By using self-control, we can avoid temptation and make wise decisions that will lead to a happier and more fulfilling life.
Alright, I believe you got a chance to read about tips for self-control with us. That's going to be the title of today's reading. So let's go ahead and answer a few questions. According to this author, what attitude will keep the children in the story out of trouble? Well, that question can be answered from paragraph number 1. So you can see over there, a wise woman in the village noticed the children's behavior and decided to teach them about self-control. Alright, so that attitude is going to be called self-control, and you're welcome to write that answer as a complete sentence in your notebook or in your notepad. Alright, so question number 2. Name a few tips shared by this author to master this attitude. Well, the tips talked about are going to be in paragraph number 3. She taught them techniques for self-control like praying to God, taking deep breaths, and counting to 10 before reacting to a situation. So those are going to be critical tips that the author talked about. Praying to God, God, please help me to have self-control. Take a deep breath and then count to 10. It's going to help you make quality decisions. All right. Question number 3. Self-control takes away our freedom. Is this true or false? Well, the answer, of course, is false. It doesn't take away our freedom. Rather, it gives us an opportunity to make quality decisions right now. That's what self-control does for us. It's not about taking away our freedom. It's giving us an opportunity to make quality decisions going forward. What does the story teach us? Question number 4. So this story teaches us to practice self-control, especially by taking from the tips talked about over here. Praying to God and taking the deep breath and counting to 10. All of those are going to be quality tips that you can apply to exercise yourself in self-control properly. All right. So to get something from that. All right. So we're going to move right now to the vocabulary section of the today's lesson. And you are going to see certain words over here like excitement, like trouble, like breath, like temptations, like troubled and capture, self-control. Well, what we want to do in this section is, if any of these words is kind of like foreign to you, that you haven't heard of before, well, go to your dictionary, either an online dictionary or a paper dictionary, and type in that word. So for example, self-control. Let's try to find out the meaning of self-control from the standpoint of the dictionary. Self-control, it means control or restraint of one's self or one's actions, feelings, and all of that. So he talks about you being able to control your actions. That's what self-control is. And anybody who doesn't have self-control, they can't control their actions. They're going to act before thinking about it. Well, they don't have self-control. And now another cool thing that you can do from this dictionary is you can actually hear how the word is enunciated or pronounced by just clicking on this audio button. So let's go ahead and do that.
Self-control, self-control, self-control.
All right, did you hear that? Self-control. Now, you can see that this particular word is a 3-syllable word, and the first syllable is emphasized, self-control. The third syllable is emphasized as well, and that's the reason you're going to see these letters bolded over here in the phonetic respelling section. Well, in the IPA section, the IPA way of spelling this, you're going to see that little apostrophe to the beginning of the first syllable and then to the beginning of the third syllable as well. So that's another cool thing that you can learn from this dictionary over there. And you're welcome to try out with your paper dictionary as well. You try it out with your paper dictionary, those same things are going to come right in front of you. All right. So go ahead and do that for other words in here. The words like gather, like capture, like pray to God, excitement. Type those words into your dictionary, understand how they are enunciated or pronounced properly, and understand their meaning, and try to use them in sentences. All right. So that's what I got for you today, boys and girls. Thank you for joining me. Remember, God cares about you, and so do we. Bye-bye.
I'll be your hero's buddy, and as you study with HeroesMart, I will be your friend. So don't you